Hello everyone, my name is Andy and welcome back to another episode of Deals and Steals. Today is November 27th of 21, and in front of us here we have an Epi Strat. Epi short for Epiphone, of course. If it's not of course, great, now you know. Um, this was listed this morning on Facebook Marketplace, and my timing was perfect because it had been listed 8 minutes prior to when I saw it, and the price was free. Now, that doesn't always mean it's free. Sometimes they say free or $1 or something in the price, and then the description says something else. But no, this is in fact a free guitar with a free slow eating dog bowl. Why? I don't know. So we're gonna get rid of that. Rather, I do have a dog, and maybe my fiance will opt to use it. I don't know. It was free. All right. So, pretty basic Stratocaster copy. Nothing super crazy about it. One thing you might notice is that we do have a strap button on the lower horn, which means somebody set this up to be a left-handed guitar. Whether it was this one moved there, I'm guessing, but the bottom strap button does not match that style. Oops, excuse me. It's a little bit different. The other thing you'll notice is that the bridge is the saddles are a little lower over here, and we do have thicker to skinnier strings right to left, like a left-handed player, as well as a rather fancy looking, nut that does have bigger slots on the right side than the left side. This little piece of gauze or whatever he would have been using as a string mute. I don't know if these originally would have two string trees. Looks like this one broke off. I just noticed that now that there's still threading in there. But looks like he used this added one or moved one in order to keep tension down on these lower strings, which ideally you don't need. I guess I don't know what the ideal is, because doing that creates a heck of a break angle off the nut. So I'm not very familiar with the super necessity for string trees. The Schecter I got recently has one string tree on, looks like the last two strings. So maybe this was originally here. Maybe there were two of them. Maybe not, because then this would have been on there twice. I don't know. On the back, I mean, the body is actually in pretty okay shape. We've got a scuff. If you look closer, there are some dents, but not much in the realm of dings. The paint is very intact. The hole for this is very clean. Obviously, hopefully they just unscrewed it and moved to the next horn, right? Trem block is blocked from the last Deals and Steals episode, I think, with the white electric guitar. That was like cemented in. Fortunately, this looks very temporary. It is a 6-point trim, I believe is what they call that. I am just going to plug it in real quick, and we can see how it sounds. The first three strings are more or less in tune. I just adjust them. So there's the bottom three, and then there is a high E that seems to keep getting stuck on frets, which is kind of weird. The saddles are really high, and I believe the neck is really flat, so I could probably use a little relief, and then those can come down. I do not know much in the realm of setting up guitars, but some of the concepts I understand. Tuners feel like tuners. I believe they're the original ones. Regarding the nut, so this is awfully fancy looking, but again, it is definitely bigger notches going right to left. So this is a left-handed nut. You know what? I'm just going to take this thing off. I don't know if that means that we're maxed out on the truss rod, because usually you don't see quite that much sticking out of that hole or slot there. The other thing that I noticed, though, with the nut replacement is he's got another... So this is screwed down. Fortunately, there's two screws on this nut, so it's not going anywhere. So if I wanted to switch it back to right-handed, I could see if I could find another one of these that's right-handed. But I guess to hold up the strings a little bit, there is another piece of what I believe is wood. I can't really tell. Honestly, it looks like just an uncut plastic nut. So anyway, it could be an interesting little project guitar. I've now got a few of those. I've got two others. I have actually another Epiphone Strat covered in leopard stuff, which is pretty fun. I've got an old Squire Strat, and then I've got this bad boy that you saw in an earlier episode. But I'm just gonna, whoops. I'm just gonna plug it in really quick and just see how it sounds, because, whoops. This is, the nut on the output is tight. Knobs feel fine. The pots don't feel loose. For some reason, this is like cracked. But the switch feels, I mean, there's 5 positions in it, nothing super crazy. And if I, so those are in tune anyway, tune-ish. Other part of broken strings there. But hey, for $0 or free 99, as a friend of mine likes to say, I'd say it's pretty good. Looks like, I don't know if that's just gunk. I feel some, I think it's just gunk. No breaks, which is nice. And like a lot of these, like the neck feels very nice. It's more of a, I don't want to say satin, but it's not a heavy gloss, so it feels really nice. So let me just plug this in, make a couple quick sounds, and we'll call that good. Oh, hang on. I have a pedal sitting on top of my power amp that is the last thing in my chain, so. Okay, so really scratchy pot, but okay, so scratchy pots, but tone control works, volume control works. I think this other tone is for the bridge. Oh, maybe middle pickup. Yep. I think that's what it is. Tone for the neck, tone for the middle, and I don't think the bridge has tone. So I think that's a standard setup, but. Oh. Well, the electronics are better than I expected them to be. Again, that last electric guitar had the output jack on it is super loose and really sketchy, so I gotta get work done on that. But what I really need to do is some research, kick my own butt, and try even just setting up something like this. Because minus the pots and the nut, really a simple setup and a cleaning is probably all this needs to at least get playable. So I should really make a point to do that, because I have a few, cheap Strat style guitars now that could use that work. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. This has been the free 99 episode of Deals and Steals. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you want more. Pretty much unedited first impressions junk. But anyway, what it comes down to is the deals are out there. You just got to search for them. And in this case, have really good timing. Thanks. Oh my gosh, you guys. I just wanted a fun backdrop. So, I had finished filming the video, and then, I don't know, 20 minutes later, this came up. This is a screen shot because I'm filming on my regular phone right now. For another Strat, and it was, I guess I could take another picture. It was, in fact, a Fender Strat, made in Mexico. And then I messaged him and was like, hey, I can come bring this cash in hand, or I can come get this cash in hand. and he upped the price. So maybe he pressed 3 instead of 1 on the dial pad or whatever, the keyboard, or just got that much more response because I responded 12 minutes after it was posted. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's freaking Straturday. Let's get 2 red strats. And then he upped it to 300. But yeah, it is a, give me a second here so I don't reveal any information. So I messaged him. I'm like, is this still available? 100 was what he had it for. I can come with cash in hand. He changed it. I was like, oh, alrighty then. And now he sold it. So I don't know exactly what happened here. Maybe he didn't sell it and is going to let it marinate and start over at a higher price. But here, oh man, focusing doesn't like that. Come on. Focus on this. There we go. Yeah, it was a made in Mexico Strat, so not 100, maybe 300. And 300 is still a fine price for something like this, but if you guys are watching this video, you know that I like deals and steals. So, 1 Strat for the day, for Straturday, is fine, I guess. Shoot. This was the photo in between I wanted to share. So, I was curious if in this guitar a left-handed nut was put in, and it looks like it's this Fender LSR nut. But as you can see, it's got that piece behind it, K Great Wonderful, but he just put it in upside down. There we go. He just put it in backwards, and I was starting to wonder when I looked at it, because I was like, oh, shouldn't the roller be on the other side? I haven't seen these much, and yes, indeed, he just put it in backwards. So, minus, oh, darn it all, I'm sorry. There we go. Minus the fact that the screws will be a little off, because right now they're a little more forward because the nut is upside down. I could fill those holes in, flip that over, and have a nice roller nut for it. So, oh, okay. Someone's gonna buy something for me. Anyway, sorry, that was just a story and another thing I learned about the guitar. Like, how cool would that have been to have 2 red strats for Straturday for a Deals and Steals episode? But I just had to tell the story. So anyway, I just, again, needed a backdrop here. Thanks for watching. You've been awesome. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye. Well, it turns out if you actually have, freaking room to sit anywhere, you could actually play the thing a smidge and actually sound decent to your audience. So, I mean, I'm playing power chords upside down right now, which doesn't feel right. But I mean, so no volume swells here, but I guess we got the 1 E string.